What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome back to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video, and we will talk about Mason Mount today because Liverpool are in pole position to sign the goal-scoring, creative, attacking midfielder from Chelsea, and a journalist thinks that Liverpool could get him for a bargain cut price deal. If he had 2, 3, 4 years left on his contract, then he would cost a lot of money, but because he only has 1 year left on his contract and there is still no indication that Mason Mount would want to sign a contract extension at Chelsea, and also Chelsea are under pressure to sell to comply with financial fair play rules. Ben Jacobs is reporting that Mason Mount could be going to Liverpool and Liverpool could land him for a bargain, more reasonable price. The journalist said, and I quote him, "Liverpool will push for Mason Mount. He's definitely one of the big priorities, and there is a confidence at Liverpool's end that they can get Mason Mount for a bargain due to his contract winding down. Now we have to wait and see whether Chelsea's new manager impacts anything and what Chelsea do in response to firm interest to try and keep the player, because even though he hasn't had his best season, Chelsea still don't want to lose Mount, but obviously they are not going to go beyond the summer if he doesn't sign a contract and risk not taking the transfer fee. Chelsea have to sell at least 7, 8 players, or they have to get rid of some of them. Of course, some of them are leaving already with their contracts winding down, and Mason Mount could be one of those players that Chelsea will put on the market. And during the contract negotiations, Mason Mount and his agent and representatives were told by Chelsea that if he doesn't sign a new contract, he will be sold in the summer. And of course, Mason Mount wasn't happy with that. His agent wasn't happy with that. And that increased the likelihood of Mason Mount leaving Chelsea in this summer transfer window. So if you are excited about this news, leave a like if you enjoyed these videos. Subscribe so you stay up to date with all the Liverpool transfer news, latest updates. But if I were Liverpool, or I was in charge of Liverpool, I would only sign Mason Mount for around £50 million. I think for 70-80 million we could get an even better player than Mason Mount, or we could get 2 midfielders for the price of an 80 million Mason Mount. But I don't think Chelsea would be crazy enough to ask for 80 million. They know absolutely nobody would pay 80 million for Mason Mount with 1 year left on his contract. Maybe if he had 3 years left and he had the season that he had last season, that would be a different story. But I think after Mason Mount had a pretty up and down season, but the whole Chelsea season has been an absolute disaster, I don't think anybody would pay that amount of money. I think for 40-50 million, Mason Mount would be a brilliant signing. Not sure about calling him a bargain at that price, but we don't really know what kind of price Liverpool will agree with Chelsea, if they agree one. And David Ornstein is reporting that on Friday a direct conversation took place between Chelsea co-owner Todd Bowley and Mason Mount, where his importance and the desire to keep him was reiterated. So Chelsea don't really want to sell Mason Mount, but also Mason Mount wants assurances that he will play a lot more next season. The dialogue has been interpreted inside Chelsea as a positive development, because before Chelsea thought they have no chance of keeping Mason Mount, but now the door is slightly open. If Mason Mount could agree a new contract with Chelsea, of course he will stay, but a lot depends on what will happen at Chelsea in the summer. And I think Chelsea are looking to sell quite a few players, and also depending on who the new manager is, Mason Mount could be starting or sitting on the bench. So there is a lot still to talk about. But if Mason Mount is serious about his career and if he wants to be at a stable club, starting regularly almost every game, he should come to Liverpool and play in that right centre midfield slot next to the defensive midfielder. Mason Mount would be perfect in that role, and also Chelsea is a very unstable environment. We don't even know what kind of team Chelsea will be next season. We don't know who their manager will be. We don't know what kind of transfers they will make in and out. And we also have to talk about Mo Salah's record-breaking achievements this season. Even though Salah, by his own standards, is having an average or below par season compared to all his previous seasons, I might add, because if you compare him to almost anybody else in the Premier League, he is still having an outstanding season. And Salah now scored 27 goals this season, and he also equaled Robbie Fowler's goal-scoring ratio or goal-scoring tally at Liverpool. 183 goals I think he has now, and he's now just 3 goals behind Steven Gerrard, who scored 186 goals, and he will overtake probably Steven Gerrard in 5th place in the all-time top goal scorer chart at Liverpool. And that was Mo Salah's 8th goal in 8 games, so he is right back in form. And also he scored now in 6 consecutive home games at Liverpool, which is brilliant. And the last player who did it in 2018, so 5 years ago, yes, you guessed it was Mo Salah as well. So we are seeing a living legend play at Liverpool, one of the all-time best players and one of the all-time best goal scorers in the entire history of Liverpool. So cherish every game. Cherish every moment that you can watch Mo Salah, because time flies, and in a few years Mo Salah will be either retiring or leaving Liverpool, and then we won't be able to watch this living Liverpool legend anymore. And according to James Pearce and Fabrizio Romano, Liverpool will sign a minimum of 2 midfielders, but even maybe more. Fabrizio Romano said that Liverpool will look at their options alongside their 3 main midfield targets, and those are Mason Mount, Alexis McAllister and Ryan Gravenberch. And Fabrizio Romano said that there are many midfield targets who are being discussed, not just these 3 players, but it's still very early. Liverpool will sign midfielders for sure, but April is not the moment when you sign players. Sometimes the market is also about the opportunities, and so Liverpool are exploring different options. I'm told they will sign 2 or 3 midfielders this summer. 2 is the bare minimum, but I think we need 3. 3 midfielders would be absolutely ideal, and we need to get every single signing spot on, but we already said that. And I'm also leaning over that Liverpool should sign a defensive midfielder and 2 attacking midfielders. So I would sign Mason Mount, Alexis McAllister, and somebody like Declan Rice or Moises Caicedo, and I think for 150, maybe even 200 million, those 3 players are gettable. And I should add, I would want Liverpool to sign a centre back and a backup right back for Trent Alexander-Arnold. And also circling back to Mo Salah, what is crazy is that Robbie Fowler scored the same 183 goals in 369 games, and it took Salah only 298 games to score the same amount of goals as Robbie Fowler. And guess what? Steven Gerrard scored 186 goals in 710 games. Absolutely crazy. That yes, Steven Gerrard is a midfielder. He didn't play the majority of his career on the right wing, but Salah is also not a striker. Every other player in the top 10 list, apart from Steven Gerrard, they are strikers. Ian Rush is first with 346 goals, Roger on the second with 285, Gordon Hodgson 241, and Billy Little 228. Salah can get to 5th place this season, and then he will need to have another 40 goal season next season to catch Billy Little in 4th place, and I think that's as high as he can go. Maybe if Salah can stay for another 3 years at Liverpool, maybe he can catch Gordon Hodgson at 241 goals, but Salah would need to score like 58 more goals to catch that. But as I said, if he scores another 5 goals this season and he scores another like 30 goals next season, then maybe in 2 or 3 seasons he can catch in even 4th place. And only Gordon Hodgson in the top 10 has a better goals per game ratio than Mo Salah. And some newspapers are reporting that AS Roma will offer the 31-year-old Brazilian Bobby Firmino a 2+1 year contract, and I would absolutely love to see him at Roma. They've been struggling with their strikers. Belotti and Abraham have been pretty inconsistent, both of them, this season. And Bobby Firmino will leave Liverpool at the end of the season. And I think he should go to Roma, where they could finish in a top 4 in the Serie A, and they are also into the semi-finals of the Europa League. So hopefully Roma can win the Europa League again and qualify for the Champions League through the league as well. And Jordan Henderson said that we have to take the positives out of the Nottingham Forest game and keep the momentum going. For Liverpool, we just need to get back to that consistency, Jordan Henderson said, and performing every week. I think that's the most important thing. I don't think we can set too big a challenge and think too far ahead. We haven't been consistent enough all season long, and it's about finding that consistency again in performance. When you do that, the results will follow. That's been the case over the last few games, and hopefully we can continue that until the end. I think with Newcastle absolutely annihilating Tottenham 6-1, the top 4 is pretty much gone, because Newcastle only have 3 away games, and one of them is against Chelsea, who are pretty much on holiday already. Their season is over, and also Newcastle are in such fine goal scoring form, and their defense is also rock solid. I just don't see Newcastle losing 3 or more games. And also, even if Newcastle lose 3 games, Liverpool will have to win pretty much every game, and that would be the biggest surprise. It would be an even bigger surprise than Newcastle losing 3 games, for Liverpool to win all their games, because of how insanely inconsistent they have been this season. And after Trent Alexander-Arnold got his 50th assist against Leeds United, he got 2 assists against Leeds. He got another assist in this Liverpool-Nottingham Forest game, and it was for the winning goal for Mo Salah. So congratulations to Trent. He's getting back to his best. And I think this new position in attack suits him, that he comes into midfield a little bit as a deep-lying playmaker. And in defense, he slots back at right back to defend. And I think this new role hopefully will cause a lot of problems for opposition teams, and also it will hopefully help Trent get a lot more assists and for Liverpool to get a lot more goals. And also Jurgen Klopp won his 100th game at Anfield. In just 144 matches he achieved that feat. He's only the 4th manager in Liverpool's history to get 100 wins at Anfield, after Bill Shankly, Bob Paisley and Tom Watson. And for Bob Paisley it took him 131 games, which is very few. For Bill Shankly 139. But Jurgen Klopp is right up there with 144 games. And Tom Watson, it took him 166 games to win 100 at Anfield. So Liverpool hopefully can win at West Ham. But West Ham went to Bournemouth and smashed them 4-0. And at home they will be flying with confidence. So that will be a very, very tough game for Liverpool. But hopefully Liverpool can go to the London Stadium and really put in a performance. Defensively, we have to do much better than Nottingham Forest did. But hopefully with Jota back in form, Salah in form, and we have Gakpo, Darwin Núñez, Luis Diaz. Hopefully Liverpool can score enough goals to compensate for their leaky defense of late. And we need to get back to keeping clean sheets as well very soon. Let's hope we can beat West Ham, and then that sets up the Liverpool-Tottenham game very nicely. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.